So today I'm going to be talking about my first virtual show. So, in terms of my role, it was just me and 3 monologues. Everyone else had their own monologues, but they were not tied to each other in any way other than the topic matter, which was about the pandemic. In terms of acting knowledge acquired, this was one of the biggest starting points, leaping off points for my hobby, I guess. Because it was a huge learning opportunity to me, because at the time it took a whole bunch of courage to just single out acting. Acting wasn't really my strong suit whatsoever, but since they're just monologues, there's no songs and there's no dancing. So I was very exposed. In terms of directors' relationships, despite never meeting the directors in person, I learned a lot about my directors. One of them was a former student of one of the directors. It was a different experience learning with him than it was with the other director. One of the only people in the department who actually went to school for theater. In terms of consistent relationship building, I've not talked to my directors since that show. We just pretty much worked one-on-one with the director and then put together all of our videos, and we never saw each other's monologues until the day it aired. Opening night, if you will.
Between 2 and 3 that day, or if it would be all right if she kept on watching. She didn't want to disrupt our plans. Keep watching, Mom, I said. Nothing else matters.
In terms of personal growth, I definitely learned about my acting style and what I do when I'm nervous and different ways to learn a monologue and act in a monologue. I realized some things about how I get in my own head when I start acting, and that affects my memorization process as well. The experience was really weird. Like, it was nothing like I've ever worked with, but I learned a lot. Oh, here's my flaws, here's what I need to work on, and like honing in on the acting portion, which you can't really cover up, you can't really hide, it's just there. Just getting feedback on my acting abilities instead of my singing voice or my way I dance. Because at the time it took a lot of strength in order to do this show, because it was at a time where I really had not seen anyone. It was October of 2020, so I still didn't go to school, I barely saw people, and everything was closed down, and it was required to have masks everywhere. So it was really weird to just be sitting on the computer talking, doing my monologue to my director on the other side of the screen. In terms of acting knowledge acquired, I'm going to go back to that. I received a lot of feedback. I learned a lot about applying meaning to a story that isn't yours, and how to film and how to memorize lines. This was the first time, other than like preparing for an audition, that I had to memorize monologues and consecutively. This was the first time I actually got to memorize and characterize an actual character. There was one nerd, and I was like, this is not me at all. Like, I could not relate to this at all. I think the girl was obsessed with like Marvel, and I've never watched Marvel in my entire life. Like, something that I'm obsessed with is like musicals, I guess. And being able to find meaning in my own way and applying that to my character was very interesting and impactful. At the end, we did compile all of the monologues from all the actors, and we put it together and charged money for shows. And I'm not really sure who watched it. It might have just been my family, but it was a good experience on learning the basis of acting. And this show was Everything Seems Like Maybe.
But yeah, let's run this piece.